show going, man.
Hurry up, hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Come on now. We're gonna have action soon. Right here. It ain't going nowhere.
Boy, yeah, you got some technique, boy. You ain't show me that this summer.
Hey, why on track?
Ball at the 5, 3rd down and 2.
That was bad.
Let's go have some fun, bro. We ain't got to talk about too much.
He wasn't playing the ball.
It's holding.
Cliff, the Cliff. How is that not called?
That ain't gonna call a damn thing.
What is the delay for? He's standing right there.
He's taking a card out. He's a piece of paper.
It's that close? Dear Lord.
Hello and welcome. We're the Aussie Guys. I'm AJ. Here with me is G. How are you, G?
Mate, I am good.
I know you're good.
I am good.
Because?
I'm on holiday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Getting on the big metal bird.
And going?
Back to Bali.
Yeah.
Well, it's just it's not as cheap as it used to be, but it's a place that I know very well. I've been going there since I was 14 years old. So now,
Lovely.
I'm 50. So
Yep.
go there at least every sort of second year at least. And my second trip this year.
This is with the fam.
Oh God, I've got to take the family this time. Damn.
Now listen,
Drag them all along.
Is Logs is back from schoolies?
She's back from schoolies, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's the entire fam.
It is the entire family. It's amazing how your 18-year-old daughter doesn't really have much to do with you until you say, "Hey, how about a free holiday?" And you're the greatest father in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's cool.
That's
Whatever it takes. Like I said, I neglect you for the rest of the year, and mate, this is where I'll pull it all together.
Exactly. How long for?
Just 10 days.
Lovely.
11 days, 10 nights.
11. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No, I'm just, mate, be good just to, mate, get away from this weather. And bloody today, 35, tomorrow, 37.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, can't pick and choose. I didn't want to go in winter. Oh, we couldn't go in winter. You know, kids are in school.
Of course.
And it's too expensive.
Now, just for
during
people
holidays.
listening, it's worth saying, so you're going away, you're coming back around the 18th.
Yep.
We sort of roughly calculate.
Yep. I have no idea about that.
You don't?
No, well, I'm not in charge of doing that. I heard there was a cheap deal at the hotel that we really like to stay at. Book it. I don't care. Everything. I don't do anything.
Oh.
I'm in. Once the plan lands, I take over.
Ah, okay.
I'm in charge of everything after that.
Right.
Which is basically just hold on to the money and don't lose it.
That's right. And I'm going away on the 17th.
You are? You're on a cruise.
New Caledonia with the fam.
With the fam.
And also my parents, who are quite old. So it's going to be
geez.
interesting. We talked them into it.
Have they been on one before?
Nope.
Ooh.
They got, mum's looking for
Are you just looking for a 24-hour babysitter, are you? Basically. So you and
No,
it'll be
just
sort of duck away.
No, it'll be me babysitting them.
Oh, it will
Let
be?
me assure you.
Babysitting what, your kids or babysitting your parents?
My parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think they're going to be high maintenance, but, you do it and...
Would it be fair that you spend a bit of time sort of hanging around the buffets? Because I've heard they're really good on the ship.
Oh, they are very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be kind of avoiding them.
Oh, I do, because mate, when I go on holidays,
Yeah.
like, I take care of
You
myself.
do. Yeah.
Mate, when I'm on holidays,
Cut loose?
Screw that, mate. That's gone. Mate, if I can't cut loose for like a couple of weeks...
Yeah. It's only a couple of weeks after
It's only a
all.
couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's a fair call.
I'm going to have a Bloody Mary every morning for breakfast.
Oh, good work.
Yeah. Well, tomato
Good
juice
work.
is good for you. You get a piece of celery to stir it with.
Yep. Now, listen, next week, so I'm going to try and get you on the phone.
Yes.
The telephone.
Yeah, while I'm sitting around the pool.
Yep.
Oh, no, actually, yep. When would it be? Depends when we do it.
Oh, we'll work that out.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
So that'll be a remote one. And then
Yep.
the week after that, when I'm gone, I think you're going to try and do it with...
Well, I'm going to try and... I'm trying to hook somebody up at the moment.
We're trying to hook someone up. We won't-
It should be pretty cool.
let the bird out of the cage just yet.
No.
But, yeah, there's plans afoot to make sure that at least the show goes out.
Yes. Something goes out.
Yeah. And then I'll be
obviously
back.
won't be as good without you here, but...
Oh, thank you. I'll be back about the 3rd of Jan. So, but that's the week after the fantasy playoffs. In actual fact, I had to buy... Well, internet on a cruise ship is very expensive.
That's where they make up the money. Everything's a cheap deal.
Yeah.
And they make it back up on the internet.
But it's going to be fantasy finals week when I'm on the boat.
Oh, you have. Well, you might not even be involved in the fantasy finals week.
Oh, no, I'll be in a few at least.
You will be?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be in a few. Well, I'm being
Bit cocky.
optimistic.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, but I'm in a good amount of finals, and I've got
Yes.
some buys. There's some leagues I'm in with you where
Yeah.
you've got a buy
I've got
and
a
I
buy, and
don't, and some where I
don't-
do.
You have a buy in our original redraft league, which our first ever.
Oh,
startup
yes.
league.
We've got the 2 buys.
Yeah, we both have a buy.
Yep.
Yeah, suck eggs, Chris.
A quick shout out to the analyst. He was getting a little
Oh,
salty with me.
Yeah, that's all right. He wants to know what he's done to you.
What? Are you serious?
And now, this is a question I have, okay?
Yeah,
And I
okay.
spoke to him about it. Now, you gave him a little bit of a hard time because you beat him last week to go
Yes.
to get the bye.
Yes.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
down to you or him for the bye.
Yeah.
And you put it.
He's got a very good record, in fact.
He has got a very good
Yeah.
record, but his team sucks.
Yeah.
And you, he knows.
My team's coming good. I reckon
Your
his
team,
is looking-
you do have a very good team. I look at your running back quartet,
Yeah, it's very good.
and I look at mine. I
Yep.
might just have you.
You may. Yours is very good.
But I think
Yeah.
I've never seen 8 running backs on 2 teams, and I'm thinking, what the hell is everybody else carrying? But anyway, the question was that
I'm just looking it up while you're talking.
he had a go. You had a go at him. Just been a bit salty. You put the dumpster fire because you beat him.
Oh, yeah. A bit of fun.
And then
Yeah.
he had a shot over the bow at you.
Yeah.
In regards to him being above you in another league. And I
yes.
said to Chris, mate, I don't think you can fire shots from one league to another. I think when there's banter involved, the
Yep.
banter has to stay with the league that you're talking about.
Yeah, I'd probably
If you
agree
want to
with
start that banter,
Yep.
you start that banter on the other chat room we have for the other league
Yeah, that's a fair call.
and roll with that.
That's a fair call.
He didn't agree. He
Oh.
said he can pretty much do what he wants, and you can do whatever you want. But that's just how I saw it.
Oh, I'll tell you my running backs, and then I'll get your team up. So these are my starting running backs. Leonard Fournette, who's coming good for the finals. Let's face it.
Well, he's going to play this week anyway.
Yeah. Aaron Jones,
Yes.
Big tick.
Yeah, it's a good tick. Yep.
Philip Lindsay. I reckon he's my biggest tick.
Oh, he has been an absolute marvel, hasn't he?
Yes. Sony Michel.
Yeah, that's okay. Yep.
Oh, that's okay.
Yep.
Well, let me get your team because your team is, hang on, it's standings. Slumlord G.
Yes, that's me. I'm just waiting for the stock. I'm just waiting for
actually, you
I'm
do-
I'm just waiting for the interest rates to go up and everybody can't afford their houses. I'm going to buy a couple.
Actually, your running backs are ridiculous. You've got Zeke,
Yep.
Joe Mixon.
Yep.
We're both Mixon fans. Nick Chubb.
Yep.
Far out. And James White.
Oh, you got to love James White. Got to love, mate. He does it. He does it for you. If you look at his record,
Yep.
mate, 85% of the time he does it for you.
You got Josh Adams on the bench. That's handy too.
Yeah, very handy. I picked
But-
him up. Well, when I spoke about him, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, actually, you are right. I think if you put all of our running backs in a hat, then you look at like, oh my goodness, what's left?
Yep. Do you want to trade?
Gurley, I
I'm
guess,
more-
is out there somewhere.
Oh, Gurley's out there. Kamara's out
Yeah.
there. Barkley's out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but we
outside-
we did well.
We have done well.
Yeah, but anyway, we should stop talking about our team.
Yes.
because no one cares.
No. Well, we do.
Yeah, we do.
This is our pod. I can bloody talk about what I want.
Exactly. Hey, listen, I didn't
I
write
don't
down a
think
lot of
anybody
news,
listens anyway, but
well, that's another good point.
Yep.
Hey, I didn't write down any news really, but the big one that I noticed dropped, I think, this morning was Manny Sanders,
Matty Sanders.
Achilles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been over anything. Mate, I have been that busy.
Packing.
Oh, I'm not packing, just squaring up with work. It's been
fair
a
enough.
Crappy day. so.
Yeah, but Manny Sanders.
Matty Sanders.
Does this open a window for Deshaun?
Ooh, let's hope so. My boy.
Yeah. But that's shocking
geez,
news.
Could I? Geez, can you? Look, it's got to the point. We say this every year: is we're in the playoffs. You've got this far with the guys that brought you here.
Yeah.
Now, there's going to be exceptions to the rule. Obviously, there's Kareem Hunt,
Yes.
who no one picked him up off the waiver. No NFL team picked him up.
No. Gordon,
Melvin Gordon's probably one more week.
maybe one more week.
One more week. Then
Hopefully.
he'll come back for the big Chiefs game.
Yep. James Conner.
James Conner's, yep. Who else? There's someone else I'm thinking about that's escaped my
Christian
mind.
Kirk has now gone on a...
Matt Breeder.
Matt Breeder.
Matt Breeder's another one. They might as well just put him on IR.
and Manny Sanders. And let's face it, you could...
Well, that's a
those
lot of running.
guys-
There's a lot of running backs that have
Ooh.
disappeared in the last 2 weeks.
Those guys... I've got one team in a dynasty that I've got all three of those... Not Breeder. I've got Connor, Gordon, and Hunt.
Oh, you're gone.
So I'm screwed.
I've got Britta and Connor in one, and they've got me through all year, and now I'm pretty much... That team has been a thorn in my side since I picked it like 4 years ago, because it was just a shocking draft when I did it. And I'm trying to rebuild it, and this year I came good, and I've lost the last two. But I made the finals, but with those two guys gone, I'm really going to struggle now.
Well, I've got the number 1 seed and a bye.
Yep.
But honestly, that's a lot of points that I can't replace.
You can't. And look, there's going to be people out there, and look, you got to come with who brought you.
Yeah.
Just because you rock up and a better looking girl comes across and says, "Hey, would you like?" No, I didn't bring you. You didn't want anything to do with me at the time. I'm not going to give you the time of day now. So you just roll with who you have.
Yeah.
Look, and there's going to be exceptions. There's going to be people with those guys that we mentioned that are looking for players.
Yeah.
So I don't know really what's available.
There's not much.
I don't think there's anything out there.
Jalen Samuels was a
Jalen Samuels. Well, I don't mind Jalen Samuels. And
what's the guy in San Francisco? Jeff Wilson.
And he looked really good.
Did he?
He looked really good,
see him.
and not from the fact that he busted off what was about 140 yards or whatever.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really? Oh man!
But just the way he went about it,
right?
And I jumped on. No, not a chance. Oh, my waiver money's gone. It's just I'm blowing it all, blowing the whole wad.
Well, you've got to. Otherwise, what's it for?
No, who knew?
Except maybe for now.
Yeah, maybe
blow it all. On the eve of the fantasy playoffs and just
like
go,
I knew.
bang.
I'm going to save it for Wilson.
Thank you, Jalen Samuels or Justin Jackson.
Oh, with Justin Jackson, I have.
Yep.
We actually spoke about him when he was coming out as a rookie.
Yeah, we like him.
Yeah,
we like the talent.
Yep.
And for me, I'm a little bit wary of the division between him and Eckler. Whereas maybe Jalen Samuels might get more of the ball. Well, he probably will because there's not really anyone else.
Stephen Ridley.
Steve. Yeah, okay. There you go. Case in point.
There we are. So good luck for anybody that's lost all those guys. Yeah. So
timing.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? It's not great. You'd rather lose a wide receiver. You can go and probably pick something up somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Much easier to replace a wide receiver.
Very hard.
Now, today we're doing, at your suggestion, but you know what? It's actually been really, really useful to do this. So a few weeks ago, it was a few weeks ago.
Probably longer.
Longer, you reckon? Week 10-ish, maybe?
Okay.
I have a vague feeling that I did it for like weeks 1 to 9. That was the whole season's worth at that point.
Yep.
So week 10, I did my run-home analysis. Got a bit of scorn. Got a bit of kickback for it. But I think, it's data and it tells you a story.
It's simple data and it works in different ways for different people. The analyst, he was on his trip to the States.
Yep.
And when he arrived, he listened to that and he fell right asleep. He said it was great.
I'm glad I could help. So, listen, something at your suggestion, you said let's revisit that. But previous 2 weeks, and I know you did previous 4 weeks.
I've done seasonal last 4 weeks and the last 2 weeks.
Now I didn't
which is
do
the way
last
that
two.
If you go to the NFL side, which most people use,
Yep.
You could go there and get data until the cows come home with so much data that it'll just make your head spin. And some of it, I look at it and go, what the hell are they talking about? When they start abbreviating things, maybe the young kids today, they get all the abbreviations, but I don't get it. And so I just thought, look, most of the people that play fantasy are, meat and potatoes.
Yep.
Mum and dad, sort of, people just having a bit of fun. There's a lot of people that play for money. We don't. I think we have the one league.
We have one league.
Yeah. But I just in it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
For the ego trip.
Yes.
And you win.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's good fun. Look, we enjoy it.
Yeah. So we just put this as basic, simple.
Yes.
And the way I came about it, as I said to you, AJ, just before we went on, was the fact that I was looking at the seasonal numbers that fantasy points against, quarterbacks, running backs. And then I hit on the 4 week. And everything changed, which is it's going to. Not everywhere's going to be in the same spot, but I mean radically changed. And I thought, okay. Then I hit the 2 week, and it all changed radically again. I'm thinking, okay, this is all over the shop. So maybe if we go back, because things would have changed since you did yours.
They have.
We know how the season goes. Some teams pack it up.
Players get injured.
Yep. players start going, holy shit, I better start busting my ass because I'm playing for my job and my future because outside of football, I don't know what else I'm going to do.
Yeah. Some teams have to start Mark Sanchez.
Some teams got to start me. Jeez, bloody hell. Can you believe? I can't believe it. That's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And, you know, and that's going to happen. So people start playing better.
Precisely.
Maybe if I play good for the last 6 weeks.
Make a bit of coin.
Yeah, there'll be people that are even, you know, the contracts are due.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So, playing maybe not to stay on this team to audition for another team.
Yes.
So I just put together this. Thought we'd just revisit what you what you spoke about a few weeks ago.
It's been a very valuable exercise not to denigrate the work that I did originally, but it has changed.
Well, I was.
Yeah, I know you were. It has changed. Because when I did it, now I did wide receivers and tight ends. You've got quarterbacks, running backs.
Yep.
And when I did it for wide receivers and tight ends, it changed.
Yes.
And I was looking at it thinking, ooh.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying the players that I originally suggested were bad picks, but now there's some different options.
Yes.
So that is interesting. But do you want to head off with quarterbacks?
Okay, we'll do quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Okay. So I did a lot of writing, as you see. You just print yours straight off.
Yeah.
I do write. I've got to work out how to use this computer thing. I really do. I actually had my wife in there the other day, and I could see her frustration.
Clack.
I said, don't worry, I'll just write it down. I'll write it down. So anyway, look. So what I did is I looked at seasonal, and then I looked at the last 4 weeks, and then I looked at the last 2 weeks. And then I put down the fantasy point change up. So, look, you're always going to have the same teams that have been pretty much, crap.
Yes.
Like against quarterback, the Bengals have been pretty much crap all year. So I didn't want to put, obvious teams that are in there. I sort of looked more for
trends.
A trend.
Yeah.
So as far as, so we'll go...
Give me some positive trends. Teams that have bad defenses that are now coming good.
Okay.
And that's a bit of a warning sign.
Okay, so I'm not going to give you a massive list. I've got 7 down here. Okay, so Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Now, we'd all think Tampa Bay. Seasonally, they're giving up 30 fantasy points a game.
Okay. To quarterbacks.
This is the quarterbacks. Yep. Oh, sorry. They're ranked 30th. They're giving up 21 fantasy points.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay.
I did highlight the fact that that's the games, the position, not the points.
Yes.
So in the last 4 weeks, they have dropped from 30 to 6, from 21 fantasy points to 13.
Wow.
And then over the last 2 weeks, they've gone back up to 9, but they've actually dropped down to 12 fantasy points. So that's from the start of the season till now, that is a change of 9 less fantasy points they're giving up to quarterbacks.
That's significant.
Oh, it is. And the reason for that is that they've given up 6 TDs, but they've had 6 interceptions. The secondary has really started to pick up. So I just sort of also give you the teams in your playoff run that will be going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And look, they've got a bit of a hard stretch. They've got the Saints, the Ravens, and the Cowboys.
Okay.
So those numbers might change again, but I can only give you what I'm reading. The next team I have is the Eagles. Now, the Eagles on the season are number 23, giving up 18 fantasy points.
But wait.
Week 4, they dropped to 18th. And now, after the last 2 weeks, they're down to 3rd.
Yeah, they're getting much
only
better.
Giving up 9 fantasy points to quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And that's a drop of 9 fantasy points as well.
You know, it's interesting with Philadelphia.
Because people
Tampa.
look at seasonal and they'll go, that's what they are for their crap. Well, they're not.
Yeah.
They're getting better.
And that's what happens we've got a couple of leagues on NFL.com. All right, I've got a couple. We've got our main redraft league.
Yep, I've got a heap.
You've got a heap?
Yep.
And you know how when you see the matchup, you hover over the team and it says, they're 3rd versus quarterbacks or whatever.
Yep.
So that's season.
That's season, yes.
And it's very misleading.
It is very misleading.
Yes.
You can start crap and, end well, and you can start well and end like crap.
Correct.
So that's the Eagles, and they have the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Texans on their run home. Mm-hmm. Now, the next one down there, this team is real. They do this every year. And that's the Pats. They were 20th on the season.
Yep.
13th over the last 4 weeks, and they've dropped down to 7th.
Ooh.
So they've gone from 18 fantasy points to 12 fantasy points conceded to quarterbacks. That's a drop of 6, obviously.
Yep.
if my maths is any good.
No, that sounds good.
I have that thing on my phone, the calculator. Don't have to do that in my head. And they have the Dolphins, the Steelers, and the Bills. And they do it every year, don't they, the Pats? They just
That's
get their
interesting.
shit together
Yes.
at the right time of the year.
Correct.
Never judge them, never write them off in the first half.
No.
Another one that, look, there's some teams on here, I'll give you some teams that, they're the three biggest changes.
Yes.
And some teams that have been good all season. Like the Cowboys have been great. They've been ranked 9th, 8th and 5th.
Oh, isn't that good?
Yeah. They were giving away 16. They're down to 11, so they got a drop of 4. The Ravens, they just keep getting better. They've been 4 and 2.
Yep.
But yet they've gone from 15 fantasy points down to 9. So that's a drop of 6 against quarterbacks.
Wow.
The Bears and the Bills are another one. They're 1 and 2. They've been, hovering around that mark. The Bills have moved up a little bit to 12 fantasy points, but that's where they were seasonal over the last 2 weeks, so they're pretty much even. But they've been really good all year. The Bears have actually got a lot better. They were 14th on the season, and over the last 2 weeks, they've dropped it down to 7.
Wow. So you're going to give me some the other way now, right?
I'll give you some the other way. So teams that are trending in the wrong direction, there's some teams here that are just the usual. The Chiefs have been crap all year.
Yeah.
So that trend is just a crap.
Same.
It's just a trend of crap coming out from there. The 49ers are another one. They were 26 on the season. They're 29th, and they've actually given up 4 more fantasy points per game.
Yep.
The Raiders are another one. Sorry, AJ. They are still crap. 25th on the season. They are now 32nd in the last 2 weeks.
Ooh.
And they've actually they've given away 7 more fantasy points a game than they were on the season.
My word.
Yeah, they just keep getting worse. You got some news? You got any news about the Raiders, have you?
No, particularly.
You sure?
Yes.
Oh, I don't believe you.
No news that I want to put out there right now.
Why not right now?
I don't want to put a moz on anything.
You don't want to put a moz on anything?
No.
You don't want to put a moz on whom? On one team in particular, because that's
on
what
one
you
team.
bring with you?
Yes. Apparently.
On your team, you just said. Did
What's
you
that?
say on my team? I don't want to put a moz on my team.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you can't moz the Raiders any more than they already are.
No. They're a good shot for the number 1 pick in the draft, aren't they?
Are you going to be excited about who your team gets at the number 1 pick in the draft?
Well, yes, of course I will.
The number 1
the number
overall
1
pick.
No.
I'm not talking about a first round.
No. I won't be.
You won't be?
No. Anyway, let's move along.
Okay, we'll revisit this. Look, and they've been absolutely terrible, the Raiders. They've in the last 4 weeks, given up 832 yards and 10 TDs, which is the worst.
Wow.
It's equal. The 3 teams that have given away 10 TDs in the last 4 weeks to quarterbacks. I'll give you a couple of teams that are sort of outliers. They're hovered the same all year, but they've just the last 4 weeks have been shocking. Another one we have is the Redskins.
Okay.
They're on a downward. Yeah, they're on a dive. So they've gone from 22nd seasonal to 28th, and they have a jump of giving away an extra 5 fantasy points a game now to quarterbacks than they were on the season. The Dolphins are another one. The Dolphins are 17th, and they've gone to 31st.
Oh,
and they've gone from 17 on the season. So don't even look at the 17. Look at the last 4 weeks is 23 fantasy points, and the last 2 weeks, 26. So it's a jump of 9.
That's massive.
That is huge.
Now, I want to say the Panthers.
I'll talk about the Panthers in a minute.
All right.
Now, the Seahawks is another one.
Really?
They're making a bit of a run, but the defense ain't getting the job done too well.
Really?
They're 11th on the season with 16 fantasy points.
Respectable.
The last 4 weeks, they jumped to the 27th team, giving away 22 fantasy points over the last 4 weeks on average.
Yep.
And they're still on 27, giving away 23. That's an uptick of 7.
Wow.
Extra fantasy points when your quarterback is playing against the Seahawks.
Gee.
On what the seasonal numbers are.
Fancy that.
Yes. Now, you did speak about the Panthers. Now, the Panthers have been crap against quarterbacks. Seasonal, the 27th, giving away 20 fantasy points.
Okay, well, it's not too far to go down.
No. Week 4, the last 4 weeks, they jumped to 31st.
Right.
Add 3 more fantasy points onto your average.
Yeah.
And they are 26. They've dropped down to 26 to 22. So they've taken 1 fantasy point off the last 2 weeks. However,
okay,
mate, over the last 4 weeks, they have given the fifth most yards with 1,133 yards to quarterback and 10 TDs with no takeaways. That's
brutal.
That is not good
No,
at all. That is
not good at all. No.
And look, the Rams are another one, but the Rams, there's a bye in the last 2 weeks, okay? So we've got to remember that.
Okay.
But even with the bye,
Yeah.
they have seriously improved. They've gone from 18th, the 21st ranked team on the season, don't look at that, to the 4th in the last 2 weeks. Now, you've got to take into account they had a bye in there.
Okay.
But even in that bye in the last 4 weeks, that's only 3 games, they've given up almost 900 yards and 10 TDs.
Wow. Okay.
Basically in 3 games because of the bye.
Yep.
That's just... So there's just some outliers that your team... Have a look at where your teams are playing against. Don't look at the seasonal. Have a look at the whole year. See how it's all progressed.
Now, I must confess, when I did it, like you've done it a slightly different style to me.
That's okay.
Because I looked at the week 14, 15, 16 matchups and I've recommended some players.
Okay.
Yep. Based on the last 4 weeks.
Well, if you want to look at players in that way, it's not too hard. Like you have Tampa Bay. They're playing against the Saints, the Ravens, the Cowboys. It's not hard for people to go and have a look. Like we'll give you a stack. Do you want me to give you everybody's names?
No, but you see, you don't know. You haven't got the combinations.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
so I haven't done as much as you've done. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you've done it differently. No, you have. You have done more in that regard, but then I've got that extra bit.
You've got the extra.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you got the mayo.
I've got the mayo.
Okay.
So do you want me to, so you can have a rest, do you want me to do wide receivers?
No, we might as well keep going.
All right,
we'll
go
do
for
the
it.
running backs. People are sick of my voice now, so they can switch off. And you can turn back on in maybe 10 minutes.
All right,
And Adrian
backs.
Adrian will be here. So running backs. So the teams that you want your team to be going against, and those teams will be the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Browns.
Okay.
So if you have any of those players at running back, so that would be Chargers, AJ.
You want your
Melvin
team to
Gordon.
be going against...
These are the team you want to be going against the Bengals. And the teams that are going against the Bengals in your playoffs
I see, yes.
are the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Browns.
Well, Chargers are tricky. I don't know. Austin Eckler, I guess, would be... Justin Jackson, you'd probably play both of them, to be honest.
Nick Chubb's coming up.
Yep.
And that's in week 16 too.
Oh.
So look, I just put the Bengals in there. They've just been, seriously, they've been crap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And mate, they have given up 887 yards and 7 TDs in the last 4 weeks alone. That is just...
That's
appalling.
ton.
That is appalling. They are ranked... Have a look at this. Seasonal, the 32nd.
Yeah.
The last 4 weeks, the 32nd.
Oh.
The last 2 weeks are 32nd. They have been appalling. Another one, obviously, is the Cards.
Yes.
They've been averaging over the last 4 weeks 100 yards and a TD to running backs.
Okay.
And they will be up against the Lions, the Falcons, and the Rams. Now, the Giants are another one. The Giants are actually up 7 fantasy points on the season from where they started on the seasonal numbers. They have given up 738 yards, combined yards, and 4 TDs. And they're up against the Redskins, the Titans, and the Colts. Another one, these are all pretty... It's hard to find a trend because a lot of these teams have been crap, and the teams that have been crap all year.
Yes.
And they're the Lions. The Lions have 23 on the season, and they are now 27th, and they have gone up from 22 fantasy points on the year to 26. So that's a rise of 4. And they have the Cards, the Bills, and the Vikings. Mm-hmm. Once again, as I said before, the Seahawks just not getting it done. They're actually one of the biggest movers. They're 18th on the season, giving up 20 fantasy points on average. In the last 4 weeks, they jumped up to the 28th team. That was a rise of 5 over the last 4 weeks. And they've jumped up another spot to the 29th worst run defense for fantasy, giving up 27 fantasy points on average. That's a jump of 7. They've given up 357 yards rushing, 3 TDs, and 369 yards and 2 TDs receiving backs over the last 4 weeks alone. And they have the Vikings, the 49ers, and the Chiefs.
Right.
Some other ones, the Redskins, here we go again. It seems to be the same teams across the board.
Yep.
12th on the season. They're now up to 25th over the last 2 weeks, up to 23 fantasy points from 17, which they started on the season. That's a rise of 6. And they have the Giants, the Jags, and the Titans. The last couple I have down here, the Vikings are another big jump. Do you expect the Vikings to be a bad run defense?
No.
No, because if people went and had a look at the seasonal, they go, okay, they're 10th. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take the 10th, only giving up 17 fantasy points on average,
Okay.
Then you look at the last 4 weeks, they jumped to 20th, giving up 20 fantasy points, and the last 2 weeks, 28th, giving up 26 fantasy points to running back. That's a jump of 9. So they've given up almost 350 yards and 2 TDs just in the last 2 weeks alone. And they're up against the Seahawks, the Dolphins, and the Lions in the big one. So
wow, okay.
Carry on.
He's back healthy.
If you have him. You have him.
Yes.
Titans are another one.
Yep.
Jumped from 6th on the season to 21st over the last 2 weeks. And they've been on an upward spiral as well. 6th to 18th over the last 4 to 21st.
A downward spiral.
Upward spiral if you're playing against them. A downward spiral if for the defense.
Yeah.
And the Bears, believe it or not.
Really?
Now the Bears on the season, you look at them, and third, mate, fantastic.
Yep.
Against running backs, only giving up 14 fantasy points, which is one of the equal second lowest on the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
But lately,
after the last 4 weeks, they jumped to 11th, giving up an extra 4 fantasy points. And then now, the last 2, the 23rd,
yep,
giving up 23 fantasy points. That's a rise of 9 on the season numbers when you look. So please, what I'm saying to people, just go and have a look at the whole trend. Just don't look at the seasonal because it's very misleading.
That's
now,
very good.
The good teams that you don't want your running backs to go against, that'd be teams like the Ravens have been outstanding. In the last 4 weeks, they only have given up 109 yards and 2 TDs.
In the last 4?
In the last 4 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Gee.
That's just ridiculous.
That is.
The Jags haven't had a great season. The run defense has been good.
Their D-line is solid.
Well, they were actually giving up 13 on the season, but the last 2 weeks have been 8, and the 4 weeks prior were 8 as well.
Okay.
So they have given up 0 TDs in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. I was going to say the Jacksonville D is starting to rediscover itself a little bit.
The Cowboys are another one. The Cowboys have been... Look, they've just been a solid unit all year against the run.
Leighton Van Der Esch.
Oh.
Yep.
Isn't he just special?
Yes. Oh, yeah. He is. He is. Fantastic.
I like the neck brace thing, the whiplash guard or whatever it is. I don't know what they call it.
No.
It's just... You look. He almost looks, I don't know, like royal.
Royal.
With the big collar, big collar. No, he's an absolute sensation. If you're lucky enough to pick him up on your IDP league, mate, he's going to
happy days.
Oh, mate, he's going to help you win a championship.
Yeah.
I know because I have him.
I
don't know.
Good.
I'm not going to win the championship though. But
are you sure?
Yeah, nah.
Is this in too legit?
Yes. Yeah, I got, I don't know who, Caruso or something, someone I'm playing this week. I can't pronounce who I'm playing against.
Carico Cruisers or something?
Carico Cruisers, is it?
I don't know, something like that.
They're going to play Sheps. If I win.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheps will get salty if he
That'll
loses.
be a dogfight.
He's beaten me the 2 rounds this year. He'll get salty if I pull that out.
Listen.
And he's lost Connor Cook.
Holler at your boy.
What?
Come on.
Holler.
I've got players that can help you.
I know. That's right. We'll talk. I've already I've put a feeler out there for a couple of players. You just don't want to get rid of them. I don't blame you for it either, to be honest. Look, the Texans are another good team. They've just been really good all year. So, mate, if you're up against the Texans, they only give up 120 yards and 3 TDs over the last 4 weeks.
That's a team on the rise. Wow.
It is. And they got the Colts,
right time.
the Jets, and the Eagles. Now, here we go again. The Pats. They just know when to fire that engine up.
Yep.
Put the nitrous on. Mm-hmm. Pop the cap and press the button or whatever you do with nitrous oxide. I got no idea. Right. They're 11th on the season. They are down to 3rd now over the last 2 weeks. And they have dropped their fantasy points against running backs by 6 on average per game.
Wow.
The Broncos are another one coming good.
Okay.
17th on the season, down to 4th over the last 4 weeks, but they're also been 7th over the last 4 weeks. So that's a good trend for the Broncos D, and bad if you have the 49ers, the Browns, or the Raiders running backs in your playoffs that have to go up against them. The other teams that have come good, What if I said the Dolphins? Do you think the Dolphins have been that good against the run?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, they have. They're on a
Really?
They're on a good upward spiral. I keep getting it wrong, don't I? The Dolphins have been great. They've been 24th on the season, but then don't look at that. The last 4 weeks, they got it down to 13th.
Wow.
And the last 2 weeks, they've taken it even further down to 9th. So they've gone from 22 fantasy points on the season on average down to 13 over the last 2 weeks.
Gee, that's significant.
And they've only given up 2 TDs over the last 4 weeks to running backs. And they have the Pats, the Vikings, and your boy Leonard Fournette, the Jags, in the big playoff game, round 16. If you play round 17, I don't know what you're doing because
No.
Todd Gurley won't be playing for you.
No. That's right. Or Malcolm Brown, for that matter.
Or maybe even Alvin Kamara.
He's on it IR now, Malcolm Brown, so I don't know.
Yeah, hey,
What?
it's Kelly time.
Yes,
our
it could
boy
be.
Kelly.
It could be Kelly time. I hope so. Wow.
That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be great.
Okay, so...
I've been hanging on to him.
Oh, just for this moment.
Oh, yeah, not in
Hopefully,
not in redraft. You pick him up in a dynasty league, you just keep him.
Now, wide receiver... So I've done this slightly differently, but that's okay. So wide receiver... So I took the numbers for the last 4 weeks and I worked out the difference from when I did it for the first 9 weeks, right? So the teams that are trending in the right direction and the wrong direction, I can tell you that. And I can also tell you that when I did it after the first 5 weeks, the very worst, i.e. best, matchups for wide receivers were Saints, Bucks, Falcons, Eagles, and Packers.
Because the Falcons gets a fair bit of running.
But it's different now.
Oh, I know. I didn't mention the Falcons once. That's because I didn't.
I'm going to mention them, but it's different. It is different. So the most improved, now just let me look at my figures, is the Saints versus wide receivers. The most improved is the Saints. Next best is, believe it or not, and the numbers, I'm just telling you the numbers, is the Bengals. Now, I know they're crap in other areas.
Yes.
But certainly it seems like, well, maybe, and look, all these things are connected. Maybe it's just that teams are having such a good, easy time with them, with the run, that they're just pounding the ball that way.
Mate, seasonal, they're on top of both the quarterbacks
and running back. Well, they're actually, let's see, wide receiver rank, they are 26th. So they're actually pretty decent against, in terms of not giving up points to wide receivers. So they've been a big improver. Another big improver has been Tampa Bay, believe it or not.
Well, I just spoke about the to quarterbacks.
Yes.
So that rolls on, doesn't it? If you're good against a quarterback,
correct,
you're going to stifle the amount of fantasy points going to a wide receiver.
Yep. Another big improver, Tampa Bay. Sorry, I just said Tampa Bay. Pittsburgh. Oakland has been an improver against wide receivers. But they're bad in other areas, and I'm going to argue with you, but they've improved in that. Baltimore have continued to improve, and we know that.
Isn't that strange, though? The wide receivers against the Raiders, the Raiders have got better against wide receivers, yet the quarterbacks against the Raiders,
yes,
you want to start them.
Yes.
They've got worse against quarterbacks.
But, I mean, this might be indicative of, because the Raiders' defense is terrible, this might just be indicative of the fact that maybe you've got the quarterback doing dump passes to running backs and just they're being carved up that way.
Yes.
Maybe. Or tight end, perhaps. Because tight end, they're terrible.
Okay.
So maybe it's that. Now, the teams that have gotten worse. The number one regression has been the Panthers against wide receivers. They have dropped, or they're giving up an extra almost 10 points per game to wide receivers, right? 10 fantasy points. The next, so then let me find the next one. The next one would be Denver. No, not Denver. Detroit, who went from giving up 21.5 to 27.3.
Ooh, I'll take that.
Denver have gotten worse. The Rams have gotten worse. Washington, Jacksonville, and Seattle all have gotten worse.
Wait, the Rams' defense is one with everything that they have has been... I think it's been extremely disappointing.
Yeah, I know it has.
They got a great record. Don't get me wrong, but when you have an offense like that,
well, apart from the fact that they've got such a great record and such a great offense, maybe they don't care as much. But their defense should be
Bloody rocking.
Yeah, it should be rocking. So now the new top 5 matchups for wide receivers is a little bit different because number 1 on the board is the Panthers. Number 2, the Rams. Number 3, Redskins. 4 is the Falcons. They've gone from 3 to 4. Sorry. And then number 5 is Seattle. But
did you feel my stare then, did you?
yes.
Okay.
But that's 4 completely new teams.
Completely new.
Yeah.
Not just order, completely
New
different teams.
to the top 5.
Yep.
So isn't that interesting? And I also did the breakdown where I looked at weeks 14, 15, 16, using those matchups to say which wide receivers have got the best matchup. So the best matchup, number 1 for the fantasy playoffs based on the last 4 weeks, Arizona. So I guess Larry Fitzgerald or who is going to be playing instead of Christian Kirk.
Don't tell
But
me.
you're relying on Josh Rosen, so it's a bit like...
Yeah. So it's just Larry.
So maybe that's... But I'll go through these and you see. So next one is Chicago.
Is there any chance that Ricky Seals-Jones might actually do something now that there's no Christian Kirk?
Yeah, there is a chance. Maybe
just had too much sunshine blown up his backside in the preseason. He's really not that good.
You never know, maybe. But, you know, he has to get more targets, surely. Okay, number 2 is Chicago.
Ooh.
Which I think actually could be good for. Now, I'm trying to think of players that maybe you can get on your waiver wire or maybe you can trade for, perhaps. But I think you like Anthony Miller.
Okay. I'm hearing you.
Yeah. Because
someone who's just heard this now is not going to trade away Anthony Miller, probably.
No, probably not. No, certainly not.
If
Dynasty.
anybody's still awake after what I did.
In redraft, he's probably just on the wire.
Oh, without a doubt.
Maybe.
Yeah. Very good chance.
Now, number 3 matchup is Buffalo. Now, I'm just thinking, Zay Jones, a bit of a smoky. They just got rid of...
someone just picked him up.
Really? Someone sitting across from me?
Possibly.
Because they just dropped Kelvin Benjamin.
They did.
Like a hot potato.
And he's done all right when he's had Josh Allen at quarterback.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. He walked
and Josh
into,
Allen has no problems about throwing the ball. He likes to run with it a lot more than he throws it. But, mate, seriously, has that... I know we're getting off... Does that dude not have a serious arm? Like
yes.
You watch Patrick Mahomes and just go, oh my God, mate. He can throw a ball to any spot in the field that he feels like throwing the ball. But Josh Allen can do it, and it gets there in about a third of the time.
He could be serious smoky, couldn't he? Like what? Okay, it's looking like maybe Buffalo was right.
Let's give it a bit of time, but yeah. He doesn't look, mate, like the rookies. Like,
yes.
Mate, not everybody's going to come out of not every rookie comes out of the box, you know, all polished and ready to go and perform straight away.
And look at Marcus Mariota.
Some of them, they don't come with batteries. You know, go and get the battery, so it takes time.
Look at people like Marcus Mariota, who had a good rookie year and then just took a bit of a tumble. And
Jameis Winston.
Coming back. And
who knows?
Who knows?
You know, Jameis Winston, what's in his 4th year?
Yes. Okay.
I like Josh.
The number 4 matchup, Atlanta.
Ooh.
I'm thinking of guys
Julio.
like, well, of course, but
Ridley.
you wouldn't be able to get him. I'm thinking of Sanu.
Ooh, Muhammad.
Yes. I'm trying to think of flex guys that might be obtainable, right? Number 5 matchup.
Take Muhammad to the mountain, don't bring the mountain to Muhammad.
Yeah. I don't know how to apply that here, but anyway, yes. Cleveland, number 5. So, yes, Jarvis Landry's been in a slump, but I reckon he's going to come good for fantasy playoffs. Oof. And what about Callaway, maybe?
Maybe.
Bit
of speed.
Yeah. Number 6 is Minnesota.
Well, we know the talent's there.
Yes. Number 6 is Minnesota. I don't know really who's after Thielen and Diggs. Don't tell me Treadwell. Because probably Rudolph after that.
The only good thing about Treadwell is the Jason Bourne movies.
What? Excuse me?
Well, that's Treadstone, isn't it?
Yes, Treadstone.
Okay.
Number 7.
I thought there was a link.
Number 7 is Jacksonville. Moncrief, Dede.
You can't trust the quarterback.
No, you can't trust the quarterback.
He's been benched. And who the hell's starting there now?
That's the only
problem. Is it
problem.
Gabbert? Who started there?
No, it's not Gabbert, is it?
Who was it? That's terrible. That's terrible that we don't even know who was the starting quarterback for the Jags last week. You keep talking. I'm going to look it up.
No, I do know, but I can't recall. still at the front of my mind. So number 8 is Carolina. So we've been talking about DJ Moore. I think I might have mentioned him when we did this last.
Yep.
Number 9 is San Francisco.
Cody Kessler.
Kessler, that's right.
That's it.
Number 9 is San Francisco, and we've already sort of mentioned about Dante Pettis maybe coming home with a wet sail.
How did I forget about the Kessler?
Did you mention Dante Pettis?
Dante Pettis.
Yep. And
Dante Pettis?
Yeah.
What about Dante Pettis?
that's what I said.
What about him?
Coming home with a wet sail.
Oh, hey.
And number 10, and I won't go further
I just
than
want to say a thank you out to Memphis at the Dynasty War Zone. He gave us a bit of a shout out on his pod today they listened to.
Oh, haven't listened
and
to
it's just a
today's.
little bit of a personal one to
Yours truly.
about
how so?
putting him on to Dante Pettis.
Oh, really? Oh, very nice. And number 10 is Green Bay, but I'm not really sure what's happening there. Maybe MVS, perhaps.
Oh, sorry, I was just polishing myself. So what were you saying?
You were what? Anyway, so there's wide receivers.
Excellent.
Now, let's go to tight end, and look, who knows?
And look, some of those wide receivers that you mentioned, people probably
Yeah.
don't have them. Mate, they could be flex spots for guys if you're missing somebody or you're not happy with someone who's got you there. But look, there's going to be guys on your team that have got you there.
Yes.
But you've played them each week, but they haven't really
Yes.
performed. You sort of just kept hoping each week, and they give you one every now and then and get you all excited again. And, you know.
Now, teams that have gotten better against tight end, and let me say it's funny because sometimes teams like the team that had the most improvement over the last 4 weeks against tight ends is actually Carolina, and they've actually had the
Who actually don't have a tight end.
They've had
Well,
the
they
worst
do, but-
regression against wide receivers.
Yep.
But tight ends, they've had the most improvement. So, take that for what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with their linebackers. I don't know. What can you say? Maybe. Middle of the field, they're strong, but like everywhere else, they kind of suck.
I reckon Luke Kuechly's getting madder and madder and angrier, an angrier man every game that he plays and every year that he plays.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah,
I've watched him the last couple of weeks, man. He looks seriously pissed off about something. I don't know if something's going on at home.
Well, the team's not travelling that well, is it? Is it so?
No, I think he's probably losing it a little bit with maybe there's a little bit of tension with the offense defense. Can we start that rumor?
Yeah. Oh well, there probably is. Tampa Bay has been a big improver, and with wide receiver as well. So across the board.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's been an improver. Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago, Cincinnati again, Buffalo. All those teams have improved against tight ends. The teams that have taken nosedives, so the biggest nosedive has been actually Dallas. Oh. Believe it or not. Now, they've been actually really solid against wide receivers. So what? Let me see. Wide receiver. Oh, actually, no, not that solid, I was going to say. Their wide receiver rank is actually 25, so that's actually not good. But they've held pretty steady.
Yep.
But tight end, they're now the 7th best matchup for tight ends. They've dropped a lot of points. Cleveland has dropped points. Houston has dropped points. Kansas City, the Rams, the Giants, Oakland, Seattle. All those teams.
The Rams and the Rams and the Chiefs come up a lot, don't they?
They do.
For teams with such potent offenses,
Yeah.
it just goes to show, bloody hell, they need them.
Yeah. So get how different this was. So when I did the first 9 weeks, the top 5 matchups for tight ends were the Bucks, the Saints, the Falcons, the Bengals, and the Panthers. The top 5 now, let's see, none are the same. So this is the last 4 weeks.
Yep.
These are the best matchups. The Raiders, number 1 best matchup for tight ends.
Anything you want to tell us about the Raiders?
No. Jags, number 2. The Chiefs, number 3. The Texans, number 4, believe it or not. Now, the Texans D, maybe it's just that they're clamping down in so many other ways. They're forcing teams to play to the tight end, but they're not defending tight end very well.
And there's not a lot of good tight ends floating around, so
No.
you can probably afford to do that most days.
And the Browns at number 5. So, again, I did the analysis to figure out based on the run home.
Okay.
So the number 1 run home, 14, 15, 16, is the Saints. So is
Ben
that
Watson?
Ben Watson? He's got the Bucks, which isn't great. and they're all right. But then he's got the Panthers and the Steelers in week 16. Second best run home is David Njoku. The Browns. So Panthers, Broncos, and then Bengals. Okay. Number 3 run home is Ravens. So I don't know. Mark Andrews?
He's the only one I'd be starting out today. Not that I'd start any of them, but he seems to be the one that is a tight end there at the moment.
That's the problem with this, is that you look at it and go, oh, I don't know who I'd actually start. Chargers have got the number 4 best run home, but I don't know. Who is it?
Don't know. Do you want to mention anything about the Chargers?
That they got the 4th best run home?
Nothing
the tight
say
ends?
about the Chargers?
I don't know. Who's the tight end? Antonio Gates? Should ask a Chargers fan.
You should ask a Chargers fan. Adrian, who's the tight end of the Chargers?
I don't know. Number 5.
Adrian, answer the question.
Oh, what? I guess it's
where's the
Antonio
Bible?
Gates.
I'm going to make you put your hand on the Bible.
What?
We're going to ask you some questions.
What are you insinuating? Now, number 5 is Oakland, but I mean, Jared Cook, you're not getting off anyone.
No,
he's been
not
performing.
a chance.
He's the only fantasy relevant player in Oakland. Number 6.
Don't you think Aaron Rodgers would be a little bit pissed off?
Jared Cook
he's probably pretty happy now because Mike McCarthy's like, gone.
Oh, yeah.
Gonski.
Yeah. But Jimmy Graham, though?
Who would you rather have? Jimmy Graham?
Or Jared Cook playing the way he is now? Yeah.
But, mate, maybe Jared Cook playing the way he is now because they're actually throwing the ball because they've got no one else to throw to.
That's true.
But he was doing that with Amari Cooper there and
he was.
But they didn't throw the ball to Jordy Nelson, so that probably would have helped as well.
Yes.
But they just didn't play him properly or use him right in Green Bay.
No, that's right. Bengals number 6, Uzomah.
Okay. If you're going to start him, good luck.
Yeah, no, but who are you starting? This is the thing. Apart from, you take off the top 5 tight ends and then the rest is...
Oh, the rest is just,
It's
just a...
No.
It's just like sitting in the car with Cheech and Chong, isn't it? After the top 5 or so, and trying to find a tight end.
You might as well just...
Yeah, it's just brushing your way and pulling, just trying to get through all that smoky haze. And just, where the hell am I? There's got to be one in here somewhere.
That's right. Number 7 is Pittsburgh, so I guess Jesse James, Vance McDonald.
Vance.
Are you a Vance fan?
Yes.
You could probably have a tilt at either, couldn't you?
If you can get Vance.
Vance is better, yes. Number 8 is Denver, and I think that's now Matt Lacoste. Is he the starting tight end there now?
I'm not going to even say that. I stuff up enough words, mate, without trying to risk that one.
Matt Lacoste?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty easy.
For you.
Number 9 is Dallas.
Something will come out the
Now, I don't know if Jeff Swain's been doing all right. I don't know. Is he healthy?
Do they have tight ends?
Yeah, Jeff Swain. Who else is there? Who else do they have? Rico. I don't think Rico Gathers is getting any.
I don't know.
Who else is? Oh, if we had Sheps, we could ask him. Because we'd have a Cowboys fan. We could. But I don't know.
Well, we got a Falcons fan here, and we got a. We'll to get to that in a minute.
And number 10 is New England. So, look, maybe Gronk will come home for fantasy owners,
God,
but all the people who had Gronk, they're out of the playoffs now anyway.
Well, not really, because there's not that many tight ends that done better.
No, true. He's just been one of the pack.
He has been just one of the pack.
Yeah. Yep. So there you go. That's
But can I just say about Gronk? I watched Gronk last week, and I had a really good look at him. And it's not that hard because he didn't catch that many balls, but he's not running after the catch. He's not running with power.
Yes.
He's not trying to bowl guys over. He's not trying to run through people.
Yeah.
He's still working, but it's just not the same. There is something wrong, or I don't think he has enough. I just don't think his body is allowing him to do what he used to do anymore.
Yes.
It's got to be the last year.
Yeah. I agree. Now we've got some Twitter questions. Not many, but we've got a few. I did put it out very late.
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah. From Pete Randall. Hey, Pete. He asks, has Tate overtaken Jeffrey? I don't think so. In Philly.
Why? Because he caught one touchdown pass?
Yeah, I think I'm very disappointed with the move. I'm disappointed.
I think it's affected both of them. Well, look, and to be honest, I don't think Wentz is playing that great.
No.
I think that they were lucky they came up against a Redskins team last week.
Yep.
That lost a backup quarterback to another broken leg.
Yes.
Found themselves playing against Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
They played each other last week. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not getting that lost. And why the hell you don't, mate? Adrian Peterson cracks one off,
And then you just.
and then
don't
you give
use
him like 5 more touches for the rest of the game.
And you got Mark Sanchez under centre.
Just,
What's going on?
I just
That's bad coaching.
hand it off,
Yep.
hand it off,
Yep.
hand it off,
Yep.
hand it off.
Yep. Oh, Mark, this is a pass. Hang on. Audible. Hand it off.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you've got a guy that's playing like he's 5 years younger than he is.
Yep.
Or more. You know, he is playing with amazing zip. You really wouldn't believe it. Why wouldn't you give the guy? And as you said, he ripped off that run.
What was it, 96
Something
yards?
like that. That's
And I looked at that, I've gone, bloody hell, already.
yeah.
And then I looked at like the fourth quarter, and he's gone like another 3 yards on. Okay, granted he had like another 4 carries for like 4 yards.
Yeah.
But you know, you just keep giving the ball. So he rip off for another one. I'm not saying it's going to be 97 yards, obviously, because he probably won't do that again, and the chances are that he's not. But he rips off a 10, he rips off a 15 here and there.
You'd be forgiven for thinking he got hurt.
Well, you would.
Yeah.
Maybe they punished him for scoring a touchdown. Hey, mate, we're trying to get draft picks here. And
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Weren't you in the meeting? So, yeah, another one from Pete's got a couple of questions following on here. He says, will Jeffrey do anything? Kind of a... Well, if you got him, you kind of have to play him unless you've got a better option, do you?
If you got a better option, well, no, you drop anybody if you got a better option than him. But
he's a wide receiver 1, technically.
No, he's not.
On paper. On the depth chart.
Oh, no, he wouldn't be a wide receiver 1. No. He'd be a wide receiver
on the
2.
season. Yeah, true.
Do you play him? What's the matchup? Any of those matchups you've got going in the playoffs?
Oh, I can tell you. Hang on. Philly. Okay, so Philadelphia plays Dallas this week, so that's not a good matchup.
Whereabouts do they play him?
Don't know. I didn't write that down. And then they've got the Rams, which is a good matchup in week 15. And then they've got the Texans in week 16, which is, again, not a good matchup. So they've only really got one good matchup in these 3 weeks. 1 week where you'd consider playing him, which is against the Rams.
And the problem you have too is the Rams against quarterbacks. How the Rams been against quarterbacks? The Rams against quarterbacks. Geez, like I said, in the last 4 weeks, take away the bike 900 yards and 10 TDs. You'd be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that one of those TDs is going to go down to Alshon Jeffrey.
So week 15 looks like he's a play.
Yes.
But week 14, 16, we kind of think,
if you've got
better
something
options. Again, another question. Is the Broncos' run over?
What
well,
run?
they've lost Sanders. Well, they did have a run because they were
I'm asking why is it stopped? Because of like Matty Sanders?
Well, but
yeah,
also... Okay, so let's see.
Mate,
who they've got San Francisco this week. Well, that's a W.
Yeah, they should.
Then they've got Cleveland. Ooh.
Whereabouts, you don't know?
Don't know. I didn't write it down. And then they've got Oakland. That's a W.
Well, there's a very good chance they could win all 3 of those games.
Yes. So
Very
I don't
good
know
chance.
that their run is over.
No.
Apart from the fact that, I mean, they've got Philip Lindsay. Fantastic.
Well, that'd be if they lost Lindsay. I don't trust Royce Freeman.
Yeah. But I mean, their
Devontae
receivers now,
Booker.
what are they now? Like Sutton and Hamilton? And
Hey.
their tight end is Lacoste? It's not looking
It's not looking too great, is
too
it?
good.
No. And Case Keenum at quarterback.
Well, it's looking good for Philip Lindsay, maybe, or maybe not, because they can stack the box, whoever they're playing. No, but looking on paper, they can actually. I don't think their run's over.
Vance McDonald as coach. I mean, Vance Joseph as coach. Vance McDonald.
Vance McDonald might be a better
He
coach.
might be a better coach. Vance Joseph as head coach. He's probably on the
hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's up in the air. I don't know.
That's actually changed everything now, hasn't it? When you look at it, like who's running out in the park for him.
Yeah, it has changed everything. Because
Do they have to win? Well, they have to win out, do they? They got 4 games to go. We're just talking
getting
about
to 500.
the fantasy playoffs in those games.
I don't know what their record is.
Okay.
Sorry, I should be more
Big,
prepared.
we'll soon find out.
Yeah,
about the Sean Hamilton didn't get the hype he did from some people. We'll soon find out, won't we?
yeah, my word. Okay, from Craft Beer J, he actually has tweeted a couple of questions. The first one was, "Where's the beers of the pod?" No, we didn't do that.
Oh, sorry, mate. That's my bad, Joe. I've just been running around, mate, getting ready to leave tomorrow, and I couldn't really give a shit about anything at the moment because I'm going on holiday. No, that's not fair.
No, that's fair.
I wanted to stop and get a Bintang, but AJ's not drinking them,
Not
mate.
at the moment. Not at the moment.
Just wasting a dollar.
I'm trying to.
And I did have a couple before I came tonight.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Just
loosen up.
Yeah, loosen up holiday
Loosen
mode.
up the edges, get in holiday mode. And you were saying to me, oh no, did you say that at the top of the pod about how you're going to have not a Bloody Mary?
Bloody Mary.
A daiquiri? No,
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary. Wake up, drink.
Every morning for breakfast.
Lovely. Another question from Jay. What's your... This might take a while. This will be contentious. What's your thoughts on people who aren't in the playoffs making waiver wire moves?
But don't do it.
Yep, I agree.
Mate, if you're not in the play, you do nothing.
Yes, correct. And I actually put out in all of the leagues that I commish, I said, don't do it.
No, it's bullshit.
And I got some blowback in a dynasty league.
Well, Dynasty's different.
Do you think?
Yes, Dynasty is a 24-hour, 7-day, 12-month. How many days in the year? 300 and.
So you
how many days in the year?
365.
365. Dynasty is go. You just keep, mates. If someone who's in the playoffs didn't go and pick somebody up prior to this in a Dynasty, mate, it's open slather.
Okay, all right.
It's like trades can go down the week anytime.
Yes. So you're saying Dynasty, it's fair game.
Yep.
Redraft, no way.
No.
I mean, in the Melbourne
that might be a little bit contradictory, but a Dynasty team's this is a team that you keep all the time. Redraft, you're just going to change them and everything changes next year.
Like, it would be, like in our Melbourne League, which we're all in with Jay.
Yes.
I finished bottom.
Yes.
I'm not touching the waiver wire. That would be the jerkiest thing to do. And I wouldn't do that. And nor should you.
No.
And I put that out in all the leagues and said, don't touch the waiver wire.
Now the thing is too, in a Dynasty league, you have to remember that these are guys that you're going to get guys that, like Wilson, who we saw last week. Yep. Emerge. And why, just because I'm out, why shouldn't I be capable of going and picking up someone that might turn out to be a really good player?
Okay.
In my Dynasty team and have him for next year or 2 years or 3 years after that.
Yeah, okay. I'll be devil's advocate though. What if I'm just... Okay, so let's say I'm... Okay, in the Melbourne League, I know it's redraft, but let's say I'm the bottom team, right?
Yes.
And I have the most fab dollars, say. Bottom team or most fab dollars. And I just decide to be a prick / gatekeeper to the waiver wire pick. So, like, I go, I'm going to get Jalen Samuels. He's there. Bang. Boom. And then I'm like, you can have Jalen Samuels. You just throw me a third-round pick.
So that's all part of the game.
Is that all fair game?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, all right.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
It's all commodities.
Yeah. Okay.
If you can get a commodity that somebody else needs and you get him first, and you can on-sell that commodity for more than what you paid for it,
yep,
mate, that's business. That's business. That's capitalism.
Capitalism. Yes. Yeah. Like the farmer bro guy.
Who?
The farmer bro. Well, the guy's actually a prick, but he bought the rights to a medicine that now I'm being very vague with my facts, but he bought the rights to a actual medicine that people.
Welcome to Business Studies 101.
That's right. People needed. Who had a particular condition, like I think life-threatening condition, needed to be taking this particular drug.
Oh, mate,
he bought the rights to it, and he upped it like 900%.
Yeah, that's a bit of a prick move.
Yeah.
That's a bit different. You talk about people's lives and well-being, and we're talking about fantasy football.
Yeah, true. It doesn't really compare.
No. Like, mate, I'm finding more and more every year that people take this shit mate, it's good that we really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But people take it, mate, like it's life and death.
We take it seriously.
We
though.
take it seriously, but not to the point like some people get like narky, and like it's just guys. That's why they call it fantasy. Like
Yeah.
seriously, it's fantasy.
And look, okay.
It's good fun. It's meant to be fun.
And to be honest with you, I think sometimes the money leagues
Oh yeah,
bring that in a bit.
Yeah, they probably do too.
Whereas
Yeah.
the free ones, at the end of the day, like, of course, we're playing hard.
Yeah, of course.
We're
I
playing
want to
hard.
win. Like
We
I
wanna
said, it's
win.
ego.
But at the end of the day, I think the money takes the sting out of it. You don't have this nasty sort of underhandedness or, not that, I'm talking about anyone. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. But anyway, as back to what we were back at the question, like at least 15, 20 minutes ago. Yeah. Dynasty, knock yourself out. You go and grab anybody.
Yeah.
Go and grab whoever you want, wherever you are on the ladder. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But redraft, once your season's over and redraft, your season's over. You had your chance. You picked your players. They sucked.
Yeah.
Injuries, whatever.
Yes. That's it.
You're not going anywhere. What are you picking somebody up? You're not in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you're through the next round SFB.
I am through the next round in FSB with the fourth
Fantastic.
highest score in
That's
the
great.
wild card round.
Good.
That won't last.
Oh, no.
Never
a
know.
week at a time, G.
I got really good running backs. Got two really good quarterbacks.
Yep.
My wide receivers is just mate.
Well, you just play to your strengths.
That's like being stuck in a coffin, buried 6 feet under, mate. And just scratching, trying to get out. It's never going to happen. That's what my receivers are like. And my tight ends are serviceable.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, everybody's got strengths and weaknesses.
They do.
It's just like in a big tournament like that, there's combinations. So somebody's been really lucky with some of the late round picks they've got, and then they've got combinations that you look at and you go, oh, man, look at that team.
So now I go into a group of 20, I think it is now.
Okay, yeah.
Top 10 move across.
Yeah.
And now it's, and there was 10 that already had a bye. So now I go against those 20.
Yep.
Is it 20? Is it just in my division?
You're only in your division still.
Oh, haven't got out of that yet. Jesus. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
At the end of the day,
I just put in a team, and people take so much. My team's great. I knew it, mate. Any given week, you have no idea what he's gonna. It's a guess.
Yes. Yeah. Just put it down. Take your best shot.
Yep, that's what you can do.
See what happens. All right. Gee, that's it.
Okay, I'm off to Bali.
Fantastic. Enjoy yourself.
I will immensely.
As I said, we will work out how we're going to do next week, but we'll work something out. Perfect.
We'll get it down.
Hope if you're in your fantasy playoffs, hope you go well.
Good luck to everybody.
Good luck to everybody.
Unless you're up against me.
I wonder who is up against you.
I don't know, but if you are up against me, I hope your team performs
poorly. I don't think I'm up against you.
I was trying to think of a worse word, but poorly would be fine.
That's more diplomatic. I don't think I'm up against you in any matchup this week, but maybe next week I will be. Week. Yeah. But anyway, so have a brilliant time. Good luck to everybody. Thanks for listening, as always. Enjoy the fantasy playoffs. And the sad part is that, fantasy playoffs is nearly season done. Yeah, it's a bit sad. But anyway, the exciting thing about it is that we can start getting into the rookie scouting.
We can. I look forward to that.
Which is pretty cool.
I actually might start doing a bit while I'm sitting around the pool, sipping margaritas and whatever other cocktail they bring me across. Yeah,
we really enjoy that. And actually a shout out to the IDP Edge Crushers. Might get those guys to come on when we do our scouting, and they might be able to help us with IDP.
Oh, awesome.
Because we didn't
get anybody we can get on.
Yep.
That knows something, which is probably everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
Compared to what we know, would be great.
That's true. Yeah, but the guys from the Edge Crushers, they're fantastic. They listen to us, but that might be good to help us out with some IDP content when we get around to that.
You know I need IDP help.
Yeah, I know it's always good to spot those, spot the next Darius Leonard. Yeah, very nice. The next Van Der Esch. Yep, hit me with it. So, anyway, hope you've enjoyed this pod. Thanks for listening. Behalf of G. Oh, he's already gone. Here he goes. Behalf of G and myself, have a good week. Catch you next time.